Hello friends, welcome to the course on valuation. In this course, we will learn about the fundamental concepts on valuation, what is value, how to determine the value of anything, and how does value and valuation impact our daily lives. We will also discuss about business valuation, which is of key importance in the world of valuation, and the different valuation approaches that we use for valuing businesses. What are the common valuation myths and what are the common valuation errors which we come across when we do valuation exercises, so that we can avoid them. And I believe that after attending this course, the learner should be equipped to analyze logically and also to take better decisions. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when I say the word value? To me, whenever I hear the word value, the immediate thing that comes to the mind is, what is the worth of this thing? So value basically to me means worth. Now if I want to elaborate on this, what do I mean by worth? By worth I mean the benefit the use that I derive from any product or any service. Most people usually they think of money at the very mention of the word value. So whenever I'll say the word value, they will start thinking about money. And very often we also come across this phrase in our lives, value for money. We all have heard this thing always, and we always use it in our daily lives also. So like I said, value for money is a very common phrase that we use in our daily lives. And whenever we value something, it is usually in terms of money. So in the first image that you are seeing on this slide, which says and talks about value for money, which we have already discussed. And the second one is showing a weighing scale, which is basically, talking about determining value. Here, whenever we value something, it is always relative valuation. We value one thing against another and then choose the option which gives us better value. Like we value any product or any service against money. And if we feel that it is worth it, then we would, buy it. And next image on this slide, it is showing a lot of words which we associate with value. For example, the attributes like honesty, integrity, faithfulness, quality, conduct, excellence, trust. All these adjectives and attributes, we think that they are associated with value. So these are, taken as being valuable. This is a very interesting quote by the famous author and playwright Oscar Wilde, who says that nowadays people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Does that mean that there is a difference between price and value? Because he's saying that, we know the price of everything and the value of nothing. So definitely there is an indication that, there can be a difference between price and value. But yes, when we will learn in the next slides, in the world of valuation also, we will see that price and value are interrelated, but they are very different concepts. And if I can say so, that there is a very thin line of demarcation between price and value. So we will note the differences, technically what are these in the coming slides. And I would also like to mention here that, value has different implications, as you can see from the coming slides that I will show you. And practically, the concept of value and valuation, these impact all aspects of our lives. And that is what I will try to, show you in the coming slides. Also in the world of business, where business valuation is a very important thing, the value creation for shareholders is the ultimate goal of any business. Whatever business it is, it will always try to create more and more value for the shareholders, because shareholders look at value as wealth. They feel that the more wealth the company generates for the shareholders, the higher is the value of their shareholding. And if the company makes losses, the wealth gets eroded, then the shareholders' wealth also gets eroded. And apart from, the business perspective, if we see in our ordinary daily lives, adding value to life is the wish of every person. So now we will move on and we will discuss some instances of how we use the concept of value and valuation in our daily lives. The first image that you see here, it says because money doesn't grow on trees. Now, what should I say, in our childhood days, when we used to ask our parents for different gifts, different things, I've seen something in my friend's house, I also want it. Please, dad, give it to me. You will request your parents. And many a times our parents will reject our demand simply because they want us to learn the value of money from the very childhood. They want to teach us that money doesn't come so easy and money doesn't grow on trees. And they will often tell you this dialogue, I can't give you this because money doesn't grow on trees. Now, in the second image, you see a house, and we all in our lives wish that, we should have our own house. We want to buy a house. And buying a house is always a tough decision, deciding how much money to spend, where to buy and all. And we always tend to go out of budget. But, we do a lot of, we spend a lot of time on selecting the house because we want the best value deal. So that is how, value keeps on impacting our lives. And the third picture here, which is showing a graph where it is mentioned as startup valuation. Startup valuation is very important because startups are the hot topics of discussion everywhere these days. And what I see, what I read in the newspapers every day and even everywhere around the discussion is, the young graduates, they are fresh out of college, and they want to be businessmen, entrepreneurs. And there are, potential investors like the private equity funds and the VCFs, that is the venture capital funds, or the angel investors. These people who invest in startup businesses, typically they would always like to value the startup business, to make their investment decisions whether they should invest or they should not invest. So here also they are using the concept of valuation. And the next picture, which talks about judicial valuation. Sometimes, we need to undertake a valuation exercise purely because of judicial requirement. I can give you an example. For example, when we buy a house and we want to get the registration done for our property. So the local municipal authorities, they will assign a value to the property, and based on that value, the stamp duty, the registration fees, etc., and all that will be calculated. And similarly, another example again, for legal requirements when valuation is to be used, maybe like partition of family wealth. So first the family assets have to be valued. Only then, we can decide how much will go, how it will be, how the wealth will be, shared between all the people in the family. The next image is showing a logo of CVA, that is Certified Valuation Analyst. This is basically a certificate program which finance professionals can undergo and have numerous career options also in this field. You might be thinking already that, oh, this is a certificate program on valuation. What is the market value of this course? Yes. So this is how, we think subconsciously all the time about value in our lives. But to, have a technical and a basic knowledge, I think this course will help us to, understand. Again, the next one, which is showing fast, accurate and affordable business valuation solutions. All the businessmen are always looking for best solutions for their valuation needs. And there are many firms or companies in the market which specializes in providing valuation services. That is, they offer their services to value the businesses for these kind of people. The last picture on this slide is quite interesting. It talks about the value of life. We often think about this, that nowadays there's no value of life. People are killing each other mercilessly. They're involving in antisocial activities, terrorism, so many heinous crime. And then we, often discuss that there's no value of life at all. And sometimes, on an individual basis also we think, what is the value of my life? What have I achieved in life so far? And we try to analyze, again, the concept of valuation, comes in.